Do you ever feel like you're chasing goals that just don't light you up anymore? That you're doing the work, but there's no purpose, there is no joy, there is no happiness. And you feel confused because when you started, it was all good, it was all exciting, and you were happy. And now you're wondering, what's going wrong? Is it me? Have I changed? Why can't I feel the same satisfaction anymore? Well, it's not you. The simple reason you're feeling this way is this, that your purpose, your why behind doing the work has changed very quietly and you don't even know it has. And that is why I want to talk today to you in this video to give you that clarity, to show you the path forward and to help you recognize how and why your purpose needs a refresh and how you can make it happen so that no matter what you're doing, you're always on track, you're always focused, and you're always creating the results you want in a happy, exciting, and fun way. The number one thing all of us want in our lives is growth. Whether it's professional or personal, we all have certain desires and certain goals that we want to achieve, and the only way we get to those goals is with a purpose and with a reason why. Now it can be as simple as, I want to do this, or you can have a full-blown vision and mission statement, whichever suits your needs. But the thing is, a lot of times, because of those statements, because of that purpose, we get enough fuel to keep going. But when we grow, we don't change the purpose, we don't adjust it, we don't realign. And so we're trying to move forward, but we're still stuck with the same idea of why we started. The reasons have quietly shifted. We have evolved as a person, but our idea of who we are and what we wanted to do, well, it is still stuck in the past. And tell me honestly, if anything is stuck in the past, is it helping you grow further, or is it like a chain that is holding you back? Of course, it is the chain. Now the question is, how do you break it? How do you get rid of it? And how do you ensure that there is nothing that is holding you back, nothing that is limiting you, so that now that you've evolved from here to here in life, you can evolve even further and grow and succeed at even higher levels. Now that's exactly what we're talking about today, and that is giving your purpose a refresh. To understand why, I have this very simple yet very effective example that will help you make sense of all of this. So I have these two books here with me today. As you can see, I'm bringing them out. I'll show you them one by one. This is the first book. This is a physics textbook that is for the high school level that I have studied myself, and it covers a lot of different concepts. But after this is the book I want to show you. It's pretty hefty, pretty heavy, and it's on the college level. Something that undergrads would learn, people who enroll in first year, they would learn this. And as you can see, it's not all about physics, it's just about conceptual physics, but it's much bigger than the high school book that I just showed you. Now, of course, this makes logical sense to you because after we graduate from high school, when we move on to university, we're going to learn deeper, we're going to learn more, and we're going to evolve as a person and as a learner. Now, the question is, why don't we do the same in life? Because once we start on a goal, so we have this book, right? We have this high school version of us, then we have the college version of us, and then we have a person who keeps evolving, who keeps growing. But here's the problem. When we do that, when we move from book 1 to book 2, or when we move from level 1 to level 2 in our lives where we have achieved our goal, we are still thinking of the same reason we started studying physics in high school. Now, I don't know what the reason was for you. Maybe it was because it was just a compulsory subject. Or maybe your crush was in the same class, so you wanted to be there and you wanted to spend time with him or her. See, I don't know the reason. But the thing is, if you're studying physics for the same reason at the college level as well, that is not going to serve you. That physics is much deeper, that is much more intense. And if you're still with the same purpose, the same reason, you're like, you know what, I'm quitting. This is not it. This is not for me. Now, I know this sounds like an absurd example, but this is exactly what we do in our lives when we chase our professional goals and our personal goals. Why do you think people who lose a lot of weight suddenly put it back on? It's not that they can't maintain it. It's that their purpose for losing weight is the same purpose they're trying to use for maintaining it. And sometimes that just doesn't work. When they started, they would have thought, oh, I want to look better, I want to look fitter, I want to have that body. Now that they've got it, they're still thinking from that lens. and they're like, okay, I've got the body, I won't exercise now, I've already achieved my goal. And so they get stuck there, they're not able to move forward, and they're back to where they started. Their past purpose was holding them like a chain and pulling them back. But if they'd made a different choice, if instead of that they'd said, you know what, I've lost the weight now, let me see what I can do to maintain this. Why would I want to maintain this? They could have come up with 10 reasons, with 50 reasons, with 100 reasons, but they would have come up with something, right? And because they would now not only have evolved in their material reality, they would have also evolved on the level of their mindset. And because of that evolution, because of that new purpose, because of that change, now maintaining the weight is easy for them because they refreshed their purpose and they recognized, okay, you know what? I have shifted, I have changed, so my purpose can also shift and change. How to do that? That's exactly what we're going to uncover now. And there's a simple 3-step process that I've created for it. And by the way, I've also created a special resource for you that will help you do all of this. But how do you get that? I'll tell you after we cover these 3 points. Let us begin with question number 1. Why did you start in the first place? Now see, a lot of times what happens is when we start towards a goal and we achieve it, we know the purpose, but we know it subconsciously. We don't know it directly. We haven't decided it consciously. And so a lot of times for the goals you would have for your professional life, for your personal life, you'd be thinking, what even was my purpose? Well, this is the question that will help you gain clarity in that. So if you've achieved your goal that you wanted, or if you're feeling stuck in the work that you're doing, go back to the moment where you felt super excited about it. Maybe the first day you worked on the job, or maybe the first few months of building your business, or those first few weeks you spent in the gym working on yourself. Go back to those moments and think, what motivated me back then? What was the driving factor? What was I thinking as I walked into the business or the job or the gym every single day? And how was it affecting the actions that I took? And you'll realize as you go back to those stories, as you go back to those thoughts, as you go back to those moments, that there was a subtle purpose that was driving it all. And with that purpose, you were able to take the right actions, you were able to motivate yourself enough, and thus, of course, you were able to get the results that you were generating. Now, the question is, can you start being aware of it, even if it's in terms of reflection? Because once you recognize, okay, yeah, that was actually my purpose back then, you'll see, interesting. And suddenly, every single thing that you did related to that activity will start making sense to you because you would have understood the driving factor that was there behind all your actions. Now just imagine as you're going into the future for your new goals, for your new actions, that this driver is going to be fully in your awareness, in your consciousness, and because of that, you'll be able to take much better and much faster decisions and evolve as a faster and better person. But before we go there, I want you to answer this question with sincerity, that what was my purpose when I started on this goal? Answer this one question and then we'll move on to step number 2. Now this question is very simple, very objective. Have I fulfilled my original purpose 100%? If you're feeling stuck and bored despite having achieved a lot of things in life, this could be the answer. That yeah, what I wanted back then, right? I've already done it. I'm already earning this much, I already have this much of impact, or I already have the fit body that I wanted, or I'm already at the position I was aiming for. Whatever that purpose or goal was back then, why you started. And if you fulfill that 100% and you don't recognize that you have, then here's what you'll be doing. It's like you've got to the level, but you're still on the steps, you're still putting in the effort, you're still running, you're still exhausted, and then you're wondering, why am I not going up? Why am I not growing? Because you've not recognized that, okay, yeah, I've done it, now I can move forward. So bring this into your awareness as well, that I have fulfilled it 100% or not. Even if you haven't, even if you're like 80 to 90%, that's also fine if you decide that it's time for you to evolve, it's time for you to dream bigger. But answer this question and recognize the percentage of fulfillment, because this will put a lot of things in clarity for you. For example, when I'm making these videos, I know my purpose is to help you and to empower you and to show you that no matter what happens, you're always the one in control of your life. And so with every single video, I try to fulfill that. When I publish the videos, I watch them back. I listen to them as a stranger and I ask myself, have I fulfilled that purpose 100%? Sometimes I have, sometimes I haven't. But just by keeping this question in my awareness, I'm able to increase my performance with each video to go to a higher level of evolution, to become better and to achieve much more. The same can apply to your goals, no matter how short term or long term they are. So answer this question, and now we'll move on to step 3. And now for the final question. Where do I want to go next and why? Simple as that. So you've already come to this level. Whatever your goal was, whatever you had desired, you have achieved it. Now it's time for you to dream bigger. And you've recognized, okay, my old purpose was this and I fulfilled it maybe 80%, 90%, 100%. But I want to change, I want to evolve, and I want to feel that excitement again. So set that bigger goal, but make sure it's not just a goal for the sake of it. It also has a strong why with it. Something that moves you, something that motivates you. See, remember the first question that we answered. In that, we covered this one detail that when you started on a goal, you were excited and happy because you had a purpose, you just weren't aware of it. But if you can be aware of the purpose for your new actions and for your new goals right from the start, imagine the level of growth you would achieve, the success you would achieve, and the faster you would get there. But it all begins with this reflection. I know people say that, you know what, don't think a lot about stuff like this, just get started, just take action. And for overthinkers, yes, that is perfectly fine. You should do that. You should get started. But that doesn't mean that just because you're taking the action, you're on the right track. Because the wrong actions will lead you the wrong way much faster. That's not an outcome you want. You don't want to keep going on the wrong train in the wrong direction. These kind of questions, these kind of moments, you slip away some time from the action to really understand what's going on and where you want to go next. These help you realign and stay on track and feel that excitement, happiness, joy, and everything else you feel when you're starting something new. But you can feel that every single day if you're aware of your purpose and if you know exactly where you want to go next. Now, this question can take some time for you and it's fine. And you don't have to do it 100% perfectly. I'll give you my example. My purpose now for making these videos is to help you get to your goals as fast as you can, to empower you, to guide you, and to show you in about 15-20 minutes each weekend of how you can grow ahead, of what tiny changes you can do, and how you can be like, yeah, I'm moving forward towards my goals much faster with a lot of help and a lot of clarity. That's my aim, to take you from confusion to clarity. You see how quickly and fluently I was able to tell you that? Well, that's because I've consciously decided what my purpose is going to be for making these videos, for connecting with you over this platform every single week. And because of that, every time I make a video, every time I'm looking into this camera lens, I'm looking towards you, I'm imagining you as my audience. I'm not speaking to the camera. I'm speaking directly to you because I have that purpose. And so every single week I'm excited, I'm inspired, I'm joyful. But I'll tell you honestly, when I started my YouTube channel, this was not my purpose. My purpose back then was to talk about things I learned and talk about concepts that fascinated me. And that's quite different from what I'm doing right now. Yes, that was also in the category of helping you, of helping people, of helping them improve themselves. But now it's much more clear. It has evolved because I've evolved as a person. I've evolved as a speaker, as a writer, as a coach. And so that is why it's also reflecting in my actions. But the only reason it is reflecting in my videos and in my communication is because I first clarified it within with this question, where do I want to go next and why? Now it's up to you to do this reflection. So whether you were doing this along with me or whether you decided to watch the whole video, I have the surprise for you. I have a link in the description box. You should go check it out, where I have a beautifully designed PDF that will help you answer all these questions. So use that as a ready-made worksheet. You can download it from that link. And I'm telling you, by the time you're done with this, the time you spend on this exercise, you will feel that you've got your excitement back, like you're that 5-year-old kid again, because you refreshed your purpose, you got connected with your higher sense of self, and you know exactly why you're pursuing your goals. And that's the best fuel out there for passion, for persistence, for success. So download that worksheet now, get cracking on it, and I'll see you next week.